us for the Thanks for joining us for the Neighbors Building a Better Altadena 2025 Altadena Town Council Candidate Forum. We are so fortunate this year to have 19 candidates running for our town council. I think the catastrophe that we have been through has fostered a great interest in public service and a great passion for our town. If everyone would mute themselves, please, when we're in the big session, that will help us avoid distraction. And then, as you see, there'll be a chance to unmute. This is an important time for our healing, and that is to be together in a room with conversation and with a chance to think about our future and the role that town council might play in that future. So we're just so gratified that people are here and interested. And how are we doing participant-wise? Well, we've got a few. As I said to the candidates, the epic Dodger game last night set us up for a little bit of a competition tonight. No scores, please. No progress, no nothing. This is the only mention of the game there'll be. But we realize that we're up against a very consequential game. And this is a consequential event as well. So we welcome all of you. And I'm going to put, well, I put a flag over my shoulder, and if you put yourself in speaker gallery, I guess I'm there somewhere with the flag behind me. I can't really see it very well, but you might. And so we'd like to acknowledge that we are all together joined in this democracy. And so if we could all say the Pledge of Allegiance together as you wish, that would be great. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance
to
to the
the
flag of
of
the
the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, so there are a couple of good ways to get information on the candidates who are running this year. One, Isis Molden, who's our Altadena Town Council election chair. Isis, give us a hello, please, so people can identify you. Yes, she's done a knockout job putting all the information that you could possibly need up on the Altadena Town Council website, which is just altadenatowncouncil.org, so you can't miss it. But she has a vote box on the main page of the website, and that will direct you to profiles of the candidates if you click on their names, and you'll identify them by census tract. The census tract is the way that town council members are elected. There are 8 of them in Altadena. There are 2 representatives per census tract, and they rotate being up for election. So we've got half of the town council up this year. So one of the ways is to go to the town council website. The other is to go to the YouTube channel that archives the proceedings of the council. And there's a place there for you to look up the October 21st, 2025 council meeting, whereupon the candidates all introduced themselves. They had a chance to talk for 2 minutes, and they said a lot in those 2 minutes. So I highly recommend that to you. So tonight we're going to proceed. Let's first introduce some of the folks that you'll be interacting with tonight. And I'm going to put my screen on gallery. And if you go to the first page of your gallery, you'll notice that everyone has their name here. And if they're a candidate, they have so indicated. If they're a facilitator, they're letting you know. Thank you, Anton, for the visual visual effects. You'll notice that their census tracts are there. And so these are the folks that you're going to be meeting with. Some are candidates, some are facilitators. In the beginning, we will be meeting as a whole group in order for each of the candidates to answer a couple of questions. We'll go through, give them 2 minutes each to answer a couple of questions, and then we will move on a a portion of 30 minutes of breakout rooms by census tract. So it's super important that you know your census tract. And the way you can find out is that John Hayner, who's running the meeting, will put the map up before we go to the breakout session. Or if you want to, you can sneak out and go to the town council website and you can find it on the left-hand side of the page and pick yours out from there. You'll notice that the major streets are identified, but not the little ones. So you have to sort of know your area. After the breakout sessions, 30 minutes, then we'll come back together. If there's enough time, we might have some important takeaways from the breakout sessions. And if we don't have time for that, that's okay too. But I think if you have a rich discussion, you may find that you want to share something out. If the discussion starts to slow down or go off topic, we're going to ask the facilitators to kind of get it back to issues that pertain to this whole census tract. Individual discussion of, we all have these stories, right, of what happened to us during the fire and what's happening with us now and our insurance. But that's not the discussion for tonight. Tonight is more neighborhood wide. So, and town-wide too, because we're describing the vision that we have for Altadena and what role the council might play in that. So that's the sort of topic. And of course, we're here to be respectful and have civil conversation and to be brief. I'm not modeling that very well right now. I have a lot to tell you. So in any case, respect and good citizenship. So after that, I will bid you farewell and ask you to visit our website. But let us now begin, unless there's an important question, comment, concern, confusion. Let's proceed. All right, let's begin with the short introductions that the candidates have prepared for you. When I say short, I'm not kidding. This is not what they did at the town council meeting. You can go and get that on YouTube, and I encourage you to do that. That they described their qualifications and their experiences and their passionate perspectives. But for right now, I asked them just to develop no more than 30 seconds, something about them that they want us to know. It could be serious, it could be silly, it could be something that indicates their unique readiness for this important role. So let us begin with, oh, I'm sorry. Before we begin with that, I forgot to introduce the folks who are making this happen. So I would like to introduce, I'm Karen Gibson with NBBA, and we have Joan Reback. Joan, would you wave your hand or do something that will make you stand out? There's Joan with NBBA. Allison Almagatcher, where are you? Also with NBBA, thank you so much. And we've got lots of facilitators. We have John Hayner, who is running the show tonight. We thank John. We've got Jerry Rothschild, facilitator. Thank you. Daria, where are you? There you go. Stanley. Stanley's up there. Thank you so much. Okay, these are the folks who are going to help us and just enjoy the conversation. Okay, now you get to introduce yourselves, candidates. We'll begin with Brandon Perez from 4601. Brandon, would you unmute yourself and you may begin.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Brandon Perez from Tract 4601. I grew up in Altadena for the past 28 years, going on 29, and I went to St. Mark's Elementary School, attended Episcopal Church there, went to Farnsworth playing t-ball, went to Rite Aid for ice creams after that, and Steve's Pets for regular dog checkups and everything in between. So Altadena is a home for me, always has been, and I look forward to giving back. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Courage, you're up next.
Hi there, everyone. My name is Courage. I'm running in 4601. I am a working class renter in the top right corner of Altadena, and I've been super involved in my community since the very first day. I've kind of been everywhere. I've been linked up and working with dozens and dozens and dozens of grassroots organizations, and I'm super serious when I want to help as much as possible. So I saw this as like the best way to take that to the next level. And if you want to learn more about me, you can continue to hear what I have to say later. Thank you.
Thank you. Morgan Werlich, please.
Before I start, just you might want to unpin Karen because I think she's just pinned on the screen.
I'm
So,
stuck. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. If somebody wants to suggest me how I do that, I would do it.
but that's okay. I can go as well.
I'd rather you be the speaker. Do we know how to do that? Morgan, do you?
Top
Anton?
right corner of the screen, it says view. There's like little squares next to it. If you click on that, go to gallery. I had to fix that as well.
I did go to gallery, but
I think
I
Karen is
want to
just
go to
pinned.
speakers so that
So
the speakers
I'm
are there.
trying to take the pin that's literally out of your window out, and it's not.
Okay,
There we go.
oh,
It's
you got
done.
it.
So everyone should
thank you very
be
much. Thank
fine
you.
now.
Okay. All right, the
Come here,
timer's
come
on.
here. Come here.
Okay.
Come here.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Oops.
John, got the timer?
Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for hosting this. My name is Morgan Werlich, 4601. I live at the top of Lake. I am co-chair of the Eat and Fire Collaborative Rebuilding Committee and involved in a lot of other community organizing efforts. So look forward to telling you more tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Morgan. Kim, you're up.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kim Yu. I'm running for council member in Census Tract 4602. I've lived in Altadena since 2018 with my husband, who's a firefighter. My children attend Pasadena Waldorf School and my census tract. I'm a career fire safety professional with over 2 decades of experience working in the public service with a desire to serve others and a passion for keeping people safe and helping others thrive.
Thank you. I'm not sure what's happening right now.
That person has to mute themselves.
Yes, yes.
I don't know who it was.
I can't both time and mute. So one of the
Yeah.
co-hosts, please open participants. People who are unmuted will naturally flow to the top of the list, and you can mute them, and that will solve the problem.
Stanley, Jerry, when do you want to do them?
On it.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Let us go next to Brandon Smith. Thank you, Kim. In 4603.01.
Hi, good evening. My name is Brandon Smith. I'm running for town council in 4603.01. I come to this space as a lifelong Altadenan, previous wildland firefighter. My whole goal is to make sure that we can start back businesses within the district, especially within Glen Rose and Altadena Drive. And then also to see how we can go work and move forward. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Dorothy?
Hi, everyone. My name is Dorothy Wong, and I am representing Census Tract 4603.01. I am from Hawaii, and I found Altadena, finding my partner husband, Jeff, who's been born and raised in Altadena. And the love of the mountains are really special to me, as well as habitat. So my time is up. We'll talk later.
Thank you. Heidi?
Good evening. My name's Heidi Lewis. I'm representing, or I would like to represent, track number 4603.02. I've been living in Altadena for over 23 years. I've absolutely loved it. I've been devastated with the fires. My classic truck completely burned down, but I found somebody up in Santa Barbara. It's almost ready to be actually put on the road and running. And it has a stronger engine. It's bigger, well, a little bit bigger and stronger. And that's how I see Altadena being after all the work is done.
Thank you. John Carmody.
Hey, Karen. Hey, everyone. John Carmody here, running for re-election for Census Tract 4603.02. I call Altadena my home along with my husband and my little boy. Initially, when I ran 2 years ago, was to make an impact. Fast forward, the work is different. Now it's about being a support, helping my neighbors get back home the way I've done, but safely. And so that's what I want to be, is I want to be that support, continue the work, roll up my sleeves and get the work done over the next couple of years. So thank you for the time, and thanks to everyone here joining. I think this is amazing that there's like 20 people running for the town council. So I think it's incredible. So kudos, everybody.
Thank you. Anton, you're next.
I think Matt is up
Anton-
after me because
Oh, excuse me, Anton and Matthew. I'm so sorry. You are exactly right. Matthew, I'm so sorry.
No worries. Can everybody hear me? Okay,
Yeah.
my name is Matt Lordberger. I'm running for 4603.02. I've lived in Altadena for 10 years. I have 2 children that attend Mary W. Jackson, and I was the chair of the renaming committee that helped to name it Mary W. Jackson. I served in the Marine Corps in a prior life, and service is just of the utmost importance to me. And after everything we've been through this year, I wanted to find a way to get involved. And I see town council as a way to get involved and help my neighbors, help everybody come home. So that's what I'm here for.
Thank you so much. Now, Anton, please.
Okay, Anton for 4610. One quick bit of trivia I'd like to share is that, growing up here, I had a lot of family nearby, and people often confuse me, especially when I was younger, with my cousins. And so there used to be a grocery store right there on the corner of Altadena and Lincoln. And I remember this one guy came in and was like, "Aren't you so-and-so son, so-and-so son?" And I was like, no, because he was going through all the uncles and didn't include the fact that I'm the son of one of the younger daughters from our large family. It even happened recently with the whole American Got Talent thing. They're like, "We saw you on TV." And that was actually my cousin Oscar. More to come.
Jose, you're on.
Hey, how's it going, folks? Jose Ortega here. Here trying to represent Census Tract 4610 to make sure working class folks, census says about 50% Latino. And I'm one of your more recent homeowners and a more recent father. I'm here to try and represent the community that's partly burned and the other that is still surviving structures, people that are still going home every single day and going to work and have not stopped since January 7th. So I'm here to represent you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Torin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Torin Joseph Floyd. I am a lifelong Altadenian, third generation. I have a background in civics and public service. I have served on the board of 2 Chamber of Commerce, the Los Angeles Chamber of Commerce and the California Rainbow Chamber of Commerce, where I currently serve as an advisory member. My main goal is to bring back the life to Altadena and make sure that we rebuild for our community and our neighbors, providing safety and a strong city council board, town council board. Thank you so much.
All right, moving on to our next census tract, JD.
Hi, everyone. My name is JD Angel, and I'm running for Altadena Town Council in CT 4611. I am concerned with the progress for Altadena. I want to see my community heal from the devastating fires and thrive. Keep going.
Thank you. Okay, Pat, you're up.
Okay. I'm Pat Sutherland, representing for the last since 2014 Census Tract 4611. I want to share something that I just learned about myself. I had been suffering from a bit of survivor's guilt for the last, I don't know how many months. And when we were all talking last week at the council meeting, the minute I mentioned that my house was almost ready to use again, I discovered I wasn't as tough as I thought, and I must.
Hey, thank you. Lori. Lori, are you unmuted?
Hi there. You're for 4612, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lori Juma, and I have lived in Altadena since 2001 and raised my two sons as a single mom in the community. I just want to say that I was deeply touched tonight as we said the Pledge of Allegiance, and I saw the span of faces go in rotation in such a diverse community, and we were all united together saying the Pledge of Allegiance, and it was quite emotional for me actually, and it was very, very wonderful moment. And that's a little bit about who I am and how I feel.
Thank you. Reggie?
Hi, I'm Reggie Wilkins from 4612, running for re-election. I think it's my third or fourth I get a But something odd about me, many of you know, I golf in the parkway here on my street and get to meet neighbors. People look at me strange. I also bring my telescope out to Betsy's and Bernie's in my neighborhood, so I do astronomy as well. I'm an economist by training. Economic development is what I focus on. I live out in 25 years. Boys grew up here, and this is actually the most important election. Normally, I don't run twice. I let someone else, but this is really important. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Alexandra.
Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. Hi, my name's Alexandra Kirshner. I'm running in Census Tract 4613. I work in wildfire recovery and I have a background in public health. So fundamentally, I see things in terms of systemic issues and root causes, but foundationally, I am just a tenacious advocate and I love this community. In my free time, I like gardening, hanging out with my dog, playing some board games, just enjoying life here.
Thank you. And Sylvia, here we go.
Waiting for the music to stop.
Oh,
Sylvia
yes.
Vega, Census Tract 4613. A little bit about me. After hearing the captain's monthly crime report and finding that many aggravated assault cases involve domestic violence, I launched the You Matter bag, the little You Matter bag with a heart on it, back in April of 2023. Each knapsack contains a Warmy Bear, lavender scented, microwavable stuffed animal, and every patrol car has 3 bags, and the deputies will give to children and teens during assault calls or whenever they encounter someone in need of comfort.
Thank you so much. Okay. Candidates, what a diverse group you are. It's such a pleasure to hear you in this setting. We're going to move on now to let's get a gallery going here now. Take a breath. That was a challenge. Okay, for our first round of questions, we'll go around twice, but here's the first question for you. What is the top issue facing Altadena and how would you address it? And your second question is, how do you plan to communicate with the census tract residents and involve them? And you'll have 2 minutes to answer both of those together. All right. Let's go in, let's just start over and we'll just go again. Brandon Perez.
Hello again, everyone. To answer the first question, I think the most important issue facing Altadenans right now is getting back into our homes. That goes for everyone that is needing to rebuild, as well as everyone that is needing to either clean, remodel, and for those that just are already in their homes, but they don't have the community around them anymore. I think getting into our homes is more than just getting into a physical place. As important as that is, I think it's about getting into this home of Altadena again. And that goes with saying both our churches, our schools, and our businesses, getting all of those back on track so that we have a community to come back to, stronger, hopefully better than it was before. I know that'll take time, but getting there together. Secondly, I would like to talk about outreaching to the community. I've been navigating that throughout trying to outreach during this campaigning and just getting more awareness to the community, specifically within my neighborhood, but then furthermore trying to expand throughout my tract. And so I know pockets of people here and there from growing up here. And through that, I've been able to communicate with people, but trying to reach a larger audience is very difficult. And I know that from growing up here. And I know Altadenians like to live and let live a little bit. It's just by our nature. We all enjoy this community greatly. And I think we like leaving it at that. So when it comes back to getting involved within our community, there's somewhat of a gap there with communicating that to everyone. And it's been wonderful seeing that gap close as this fire's happened and seeing all these organizations come up and make sure that people are getting the resources they need, getting the links that they need, and getting the support that they need. So for me, I would like to get back to that and probably just go through email changes. That's been the best way of going about that for myself right now. And on top of that, walking around and interacting with the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. All right, Courage, you're up.
Hi there, everyone. Courage again for 4601. So this is a really difficult question to answer because there's so many crises that are happening at once in Altadena. And I know because I've been trying to be everywhere and helping with all of these different issues. But if I were to try and summarize it in like one kind of simple idea, it'd be what I call questions and costs. The questions are like all the things that people don't know, like what do I do? Where do I go? How do I do this? What are the things that are getting in the way? What's the bureaucracy? And secondly, the costs, like can I even afford to rebuild? Can I afford to return? Can I afford rent? And that's an issue that is not just one that can be tackled with answers, but one that needs to be tackled with correct public policy, with the correct advocacy, with getting the right kind of organizations on our side. And so I would say that these are kind of the two big things is like the what and the how. And so what I would like to do is that I would love to leverage my background because I've been an organizer and an activist for a very long time. I'm super duper connected. I've been a networker, and so like I have everyone that I've met this year in a database, all divided by like who does what, who's with what group, and what group does what. And I want to leverage not only that, but leverage what already Altogether has done, and me helping as well as an Altogether captain for a while now, where all of us have been working together to deliver that information. But I want to take it to the next level in my specific district, and I also want to leverage all of the talents that I see here on the screen in a certain way, which I'll address with my answer to the second question. But regardless, going back to the original question is I feel like questions and costs are the big things that are on people's minds. And I want to make it as simple as possible. And I want to make sure that I either know the answer, have the infrastructure in place, or I know someone who does know. And I'll get into the details later.
Thank you. Okay, Morgan.
Thank you very much. I'm Morgan Whirlage, 4601, and thank you to the other amazing candidates in my track. I think we're going to be in good hands no matter what. So as far as the first question, there's a few topics that I think come to mind. Obviously, having people being able to navigate a successful return, and by successful, I mean getting people the information that they need from the county and from other community organizations that are providing support to people in navigating the rebuild, navigating remediation. I think that as we move forward, there's going to be a big question of how money is spent in Altadena. There was some legislation passed that makes it possible. Well, LA County, the Board of Supervisors already passed an enhanced infrastructure financing district for Altadena. So that money is going to need to be allocated to infrastructure for the area. I think that's very important to pay attention to. And I believe in community-led recovery. So that just, I think that in a recovery, the community should lead the way, and there should be, the community's voice should be at the table in every conversation. In terms of reaching out, I became a block captain. I work with Altogether. I'm at the Eaton Fire Collaborative. I co-chair the rebuilding committee there, and I've just formed a lot of close relationships to folks in the county, to other organizations working in community groups, reaching out. So I'd like to host some rebuilding forums, forums where people can get information they need. And yeah, and try my best to make sure everyone's recovery is successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Morgan. Kim?
All right. Just like some of the previous candidates have mentioned, it's really hard. It's a really big question to answer, but if I was to sum it up for 4602, I'm starting with 4 points. One is to rebuild. We have hurdles and we got to rebuild and we got to get home. 2 is health and safety. We have a lot of residents who are concerned with, some of the environmental issues and some of the street safety things as we rebuild our town. And then 3, there are the financial hurdles, whether it is insurance, whether it's dealing with getting FEMA grants. It's very expensive to build our homes right now and to get home. And so that financial hurdle is a huge issue. And then lastly, a huge issue for us is that mental health support. Thousands of us have gone through a huge tragedy, and we're all in our own ways navigating our own internal emotions. And I want to work with practitioners and, the county and existing groups to provide as much mental health support for the children and the families and the people in Altadena who are going through some of these really extremely difficult emotional hurdles. But to address the rebuild, continue to advocate and provide, continue to advocate for faster and easier permitting processes, and continue to work with county departments and officials to do what we can to make it easier to get homes built. Health and safety, provide resources and education to empower residents to ensure a healthy and safe Altadena. And with the financial hurdles, we really gotta work with legislation and all the existing groups out there to see where we can find help and financial assistance for our residents who are trying to rebuild. And I think I've tried to cover it, and I've got 5 seconds left.
Did you want to talk about outreach?
Continue to work with the block captains. We continue to support the communication committee on the town council, which works to gather all of this information, try to get it out, through our Instagrams, our Facebook pages, and reinvigorate our website, which we've been talking about doing for a long time. And additionally, lean on our local neighborhood neighbors, just like Altogether, continue to meet with my block captains and give them up-to-date updates.
Thank you. Okay. Brandon Smith.
Hi. I'm from Fair Oaks and Los Flores, Poppy Fields, Reaver Way, Palm Street. I love and appreciate like all of y'all. My biggest thing is trying to figure out the best way to disseminate information. One of the challenges that I've felt and my family has felt is that like sometimes like everybody doesn't have all the information. And so what's the best way to disseminate information? Maybe that's on an email thread. I love and appreciate you guys. So like we can go pop up house to house as I come out here and see y'all. And also rebuilding businesses, and then also making sure that like our community is best supported. So what does it mean to go rebuild on Fair Oaks and on Altadena Drive in Glen Rose? What does it mean for a community when these schools are being rebuilt out here in the district? I'm at 4603.01. So what does it mean for these schools and how to go support And also just making sure that like we are here and thriving and helping folks out. I'm here for you. Also, I'm here for you. So I'm here. And thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Dorothy.
Thank you. And thank you, Brandon. It definitely takes all of us getting involved. And this fire has definitely been honestly brutal for us. So, uh-oh. Hello?
I can hear you.
Oh,
Keep going.
something happened.
Keep
You can hear
Anyway,
you, Dorothy.
okay, thank you. So, to me, the priorities are, as we've all talked about, communications are really important. And really, I feel hopeful. I mean, that's what drives me every day when I see so much loss in our community. So leading by listening is super important. Building consortia, if you guys have heard of that word, but it's really like we are.
You've frozen, Dorothy. You have frozen and I don't know how to help you.
Yeah, she froze.
See, I suggest you turn your video off, and then we may be able to hear you. Or we come back to Dorothy and give her a minute. What do you think?
Let's do that. Dorothy, why don't you, you
hello?
froze for a while. You froze for a while, so we're gonna come back to you. We'll save a
Okay,
minute
I'll
for
come
you.
back.
Turn off, yeah, okay, all right, let's move to Heidi.
Good afternoon or good evening. The question is, it's so fully loaded. There's so much to do in Altadena. I mean, what if there's, another mass rainstorm? The hillsides down. We definitely better infrastructure, I think. There's going to be a lot of building on lake with possibly 3 stories with a lot more traffic. I think that needs to be addressed. I mean, even I've been talking to a lot of my clients. I'm a contractor, and unfortunately, a lot of my clients in Altadena, their houses burned down also, and they're also worried that their builders are their general contractors are decent general contractors, but their subs have not been. They're worried about even fire resilience and what materials to use, and even if you're having a wood structure, there are ways to make your house and your structure even more fire resilient. And I know that's from my clients that's what they're concerned about a lot. And I know that if we can at least try to have some kind of a page or even a little booth somewhere stating, if you're going towards a wood structure and you want to have a more fire resilient home, these are the materials you can use. You can tell your subcontractors how and what to use. And then also with the to get my message out to my census tract, I would definitely contact all the street team leaders and also the business owners.
Thank you. Okay, John.
Karen. First I wanted to say I haven't actually said thanks to Matt and to Heidi for jumping in and representing our great census tract. I mean, we have an incredible census tract, so let's just, so thank you guys for being a part of this. This is awesome. The question, it took my family and I 9 months to remediate our home to make it safe. 9 months, and there are a lot of people who don't know how even to approach it. The order in which it needs to happen, the things that need to be done. what I hear often from people in my census tract, my constituents, is safety, the environment, the soil. Can we go back to a safe place, whether it's to live, whether it's our public spaces, whether it's any place in Altadena? I think I've heard this time and time again, and how can the county step up and help facilitate that and help people feel like they can go back home safely, right? I have to worry about my little boy, as I'm sure everybody here has worries about their family. And so I think across the board, I've heard that from a lot of people was, how do I know that it's safe, and what can we do to ensure that it is safe environmentally for people to go home? So that's one thing. And again, the question is still loaded, like Kim and Courage said. There's so many things just from A to Z that we have to figure out. But I think making sure that we're all safe and giving the people the resources to move back home is so important. How I would do that over the past, like I said earlier, my reason for running the first time was to make an impact and leave something behind. Now it's to make sure that our neighborhood has the resources and the support for other people to move back. So I, in the last 9 months, have direct contact with so many people in my census tract. They literally text me directly, asking me questions. I leverage our Facebook pages. I've leveraged our Instagram. I've leveraged social media and our block captains. I think that is the way it's going to have to be done, in a very informal, unofficial way, because we are so scattered now. But I think that also opens up opportunity for us to maybe connect with people that we didn't connect before. And it gives us the opportunity to really come together as neighbors and really help each other out, regardless if you're in a town council or not. I think everybody here can attest to that. I think us just banding together and calling each other and texting each other just to see how people are doing is how we're all going to get back here. So that's how I would go about it. So thank you.
Thank you. Matthew. I love all this support you all are showing. This is so great. Go ahead, Matthew.
Thank you. I think obviously the pressing issue of our time, right, is how do we restore our community? How do we get people home? How do we get businesses reopened? I think the roadblocks to that, the biggest roadblock to that is systemic inequity, systemic injustice. Particularly in our census tract, we, on the west side of Altadena, west of Lake, west of Fair Oaks, we have a significant problem with folks that are uninsured or underinsured, that don't have the resources to rebuild. We have insurance companies that are coming in, acting in unethical and unscrupulous ways, trying to slow roll people's remediations or slow roll people's, reconstructions for whatever reason. I'm not going to speculate. And we have contractors like Heidi pointed out last week, that are taking the money and running or behaving in unscrupulous ways. And I think the solution to a lot of that is just accountability. I think we need to start holding people accountable, and we are, but I think we continue to hold not only the people that should be serving us, like the county, the state, the federal government, accountable, but also holding accountable these contractors, these insurance companies that are coming in and trying to exploit the situation for their benefit, or to mitigate the amount of money that they have to pay out, or whatever the case may be. So I think just that measure of accountability needs to be there. How I'm going to involve constituents if I'm elected, I think Altogether has a great platform. I actually volunteered to be the block captain of my own block the other day. And I'm connecting with people in my direct neighborhood and looking to then connect with other block captains. I think leveraging social media is important. So I'm actually going to start using Facebook again. I haven't used Facebook in 10 years, and Nextdoor as well. But I think, one thing that I like to do and have been doing, at least I was doing it today, is just getting out and beating feet around the neighborhood. I know not everybody's home yet, but some of us are. And I think getting to know the folks that are around and then trying to bring the others back in.
Thank you. Anton.
It's such a loaded question. It's such a heavy question, because we all want to get back home, right? And I think each one of us has different issues that are sort of at the frontmost in each of our minds. And I think that one thing that we can all agree on is that we're at the very beginning of our needs. We're just the very beginning. And I'm going to take a little bit different tack from everybody else, because I want to talk about, how do we make that happen? How do we keep that going? I mean, because right now, the town council is a non-legislative body, right? And so you need the attention of politicians. And right now we have that. We have the attention of politicians, we're getting the resources and things like that. But at some point soon, they're going to stop showing up for their photo op and have a shovel and do the cute, groundbreaking thing. And we're only at the beginning of our needs. And so how do we keep, my goal is to keep my drive is to keep the politicians' attention. And how do we do that? And I'm asking every single candidate here to drive turnout, get people to vote, because the politicians want money, which we should spend on recovery, not on politicians, or they want votes, right? And so we need to make sure we have a strong turnout and sure that we have a strong active electorate, because that's how we keep their attention. And if we keep the politicians' attention, state, local, I mean, a few thousand votes, that moves the needle on primaries and things like that. And that's what gets their attention. And if we have their attention, then we can get the policies and the resources that we all need desperately. In terms of reaching out, I'm going to leverage the existing communications channel. I'm going to continue to get my exercise and walk around the neighborhood, and really try to make sure I meet everyone. I'm learning more about canvassing. Today was my first day. But more importantly, every single one of us, tell everyone, as many people as possible, to vote, because if it's just a couple hundred votes, the politicians won't even stop chewing their gum once they're done looking at us. And so we got to get everyone in Altadena to vote.
Thank you. I was going to say, could we take a moment to bring Dot before she loses her train of thought completely?
Go on ahead.
That be all right, Jose? We'll squeeze her in here. Dot, would you take your last minute so you can finish your thought?
Yeah,
please?
I'm not sure where I left off, but I will just go for a minute of things that I like what everyone's saying. And I really feel like leading with listening is something that's really important. And there's areas in Altadena, we've talked about block captains, the town council, all the different groups. We're really a diverse community, including our age range. So we actually fall into this ages 8 to 80. We all do different things. There's all kinds of cool events going on. But a concept called community hubs. We have like 3 or 4 parks in Altadena. And if we really start getting sense of place as we rebuild, it sounds idealistic, but it's ways that we, like for me, I use social media. I listen that way. We have listservs. We have some areas in Facebook pages, but it's a really interesting way for us to come together and build consensus or consortia on different topics that people like or feel is their priority. So thank you so much, and onward.
Okay, thank you. All right, Jose, thank you for bearing there. Go ahead.
All good. Yeah, so again, like as everyone said, rebuilding is obviously going to be a strong point here for our community to come back. But not just that, we don't want people rushing in because they feel like they have FOMO, or they need to jump in because they want to jump the tariffs or whatever it may be. There's people that are kind of jumping the gun here, and then they get into a world where they're hiring the wrong contractor and they're getting into change orders, and then they stall out. And that's absolutely the worst thing that could happen, right? We see a bunch of stick framing up and it just stays like that for months, if not years. We need to advocate for those people to get educated, right? We don't expect the mom and dad that are sitting at home that lost their house to know how to construct a house or how to be a project manager to construct a house. It's hard enough just doing those things and then carry on with your life. There's a lot to unpack here, but there's a lot that we can focus on. If the county takes an approach where they can design issue a design and construction handbook for Altadena to become more fire resistant, by having bases of designs for materials that will make your home more fire resistant, right? Instead of pushing legislation or having state kind of come in and say, hey, this is what you need to do, we can start and take that proactive approach and say, hey, this is what we're going to do to make sure that we see the next fire and can live through it. Now, what I've been doing actually for the last about 7 months straight, and we're on week 38. I've been going to Cars and Coffee. It's a little event that we have here in Altadena at the top of the lake. and Altadena Drive, right at the old Rite Aid parking lot. And every Saturday, 8 a.m., I'm talking to folks from Altadena that are either coming back, that haven't left, that are coming back for the first time in whatever, however many months. And we're kind of building the sense of community to make sure that there's something that they can come back to, something that they can talk to folks about and not have this feeling of having to explain what's happened. Everyone's on the same page, and it's a great time. It's therapy, to be honest. It's group therapy. But come out here to all Cars and Coffee if you guys can. Thank you.
Thank you. Torin.
Wow, this is amazing. Everything that everyone has said has been so intentful. And I think that is the most important thing tonight that we all take away, is that our intention is to do the best thing for Altadena. My biggest, I wouldn't say issue, but concern is accountability, responsibility, and organization. As an unincorporated city, the responsibility falls on the town council to be as informed collectively as well as individually, because as a town, we have to focus on prevention and safety. We care about the children, we care about the families, but as they rebuild individually as a collective, we have to make sure that we are, as a unit, focusing on fire safety, fire prevention, accountability to the county, to whatever committees we have, as well as the sheriff, for providing the proper information, the proper representation, and following through on the agreements that keep us safe. I think that that is the biggest thing, because working with the county, with the state, and with the city, I understand bureaucracy, I understand civics, but I understand the intention for the need. We have to work collectively. We have to hear each other, but we have to know that as a council, we can only make sure that something like this never happens again. And that's our responsibility, to have an individual understanding and collective. We really have to work together, because that is what a town council's main priority is going to be, as everyone individually navigates how they're going to rebuild their lives. And my solution is things like this: town councils, listening, Facebook, making sure that our city, our town, excuse me, our town has a voice, and that we're represented through media, social media, as well as events such as the coffee time. But so many things come to my mind. But thank you guys so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. JD.
Yes, thank you. There's so many matters at hand here. No way to address them all in 2 minutes. I'd like to speak at great length with some permaculture, but there's just no time now. As I meet and I volunteer with local Altadenans, it's difficult not to take note of the fact that we remain traumatized and very emotional over what took place in January and afterward. One symptom of these delays to rebuild seems to be manifesting itself in some very serious mental health issues. Nearly a year later, our townspeople are still crying when the subject of fire comes up. It's good to get that emotion out. And I want to see Altadena heal by seeking counsel with other community leaders and residents to advocate for resources. It's important to me to have a positive effect on Altadena and identify the best ways to help. There's a future to focus on, and there's lots of good work to do. Relating to question number 2, I have some, I'm out there on social media. I hope you'll reach out, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or Blue Sky. I plan to reach out to Altadenans through my continued volunteer work, seeking out the things that most urgently need to be addressed locally. I'm looking forward to more virtual forums like this and getting out, meeting more of my neighbors face to face. Come on over on social media and say hi. I want to learn more of your interests and your needs so I can utilize my connections within cultural, artistic, and legal backgrounds that I have and advocate for them. Thank you.
At the point. Yeah.
Thank you. Pat.
Okay. I've certainly heard a lot of very interesting things that people would like to be doing, and I wish I could do a whole lot more of them. I, putting both question number 1 and number 2 together really makes much more sense, because most of the things that people are really concerned about, one way or another, have to do with what happened back in January. So what I've been concentrating on is, because people seem to need information, any kind of information. I regularly send out information. You can use Nextdoor. Fortunately, for our census tract fits neatly into one particular neighborhood, so we can channel the information on Nextdoor easier than some other tracts have been able to do. Or yeah. I also have email lists that I've developed. I walk the area. Well, every morning I have to. I have a lovely little dog who won't poop in the backyard, so he has to go for his walk, and that's how I get out to meet more people. And that's how I've developed my email list. There are other events that can be attended, and I think that's a really good idea. I've also met a lot of people that I now communicate with at many of the events that have been held. I had one more thing, and now I've forgotten what that is too. Oh, I know. And what I hope to do in at least the next term would be to do some more concentration on individuals who still have their house.
Finish your sentence, Pat.
That's a whole different thing than people who have lost their homes. And since I've learned an awful lot with what I've had to do for the last few months, I hope that that can be of help to somebody else. Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay. Lori. Where'd you go? There you are. Unmute yourself, Lori.
There we go. Okay, sorry about that. All right. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I just want to say that I feel the number one priority, like everyone I think does, is that fire recovery is very important. And we're going to need voices, lots of voices, especially as we rebuild our infrastructure. And I think it's important that whoever sits on the board, that they do have the opportunity to vote without abstaining or being silent, because there's a conflict of interest of who they work for. So I do feel confident that I would be able to do that. My governmental experience would serve in the fight for continued coordination and expedited recovery for rebuilding. I support targeted aid for low-income residents and others, but feel that we need full disclosure. We need to have transparency and know where those funds came from, how much was raised, and where did it go. I also want to build a strong standing community disaster recovery task force, so we're not reinventing the system every time there's a disaster. And we have to recognize recovery is not just about structures, it's also about belonging. And we want to prioritize mental health. We want to work for the support of small business recovery corridors and partnerships with schools and nonprofits, and to stabilize families and social ties. And finally, preparedness. We need vegetation management. We need resilient infrastructure, clear public communication, and how we will actually involve people. And finally, for communication, real representation means that you don't wait for the residents to come to town council, you bring town council to the residents. In our census tracts, and two of them, we can bring them through engagement, door-to-door canvassing, meeting at churches, courtyards, text-based surveys in English and other languages, pop-up tables even at grocery stores, and do child-friendly evenings for working parents. I hope I have the opportunity to serve my district.
Thank you. All right, Reggie.
Hello, folks. Normally when I run, the person I haven't lost an election yet. The person that runs second, I normally have them run on the land use committee, because everyone who wants to be a part of the town council they're just awesome people like this group here. We all love Altadena. that's why we're here missing the game right now. We want the best for it. And so I'm just amazed that the people here, it's very inspiring. If if we were a city, we'd have a departments to do everything we were talking about tonight. We'd have, the mayor would be outreaching. We have the planning department dealing with the permits. We'd have the long range city manager. We have none of that, right? So we have to do it on ourselves, unpaid, right? And so what I've been thinking is best way is actually to repurpose the film committee that Kim and I sit on and make it actually an economic development committee. And so everything that has to do with the redevelopment of Altadena will come through us in some way. There'll be no deals with developers we don't know about, right? There'll be no permit issues that our residents don't know about. So basically, we have to become the economic development committee because we're not a city. And I think my experience in economic development as a researcher and my previous work in Southern California Edison in the economic and business development department, we specifically looked out to reach businesses to come into our territory and keep businesses from leaving. But now I'm a researcher there, so I don't do that work anymore. So we have to have our own economic development group because we're not a city. Ideally, we'd be a city. That's not going to happen soon, right? And so if we have that group, we can make sure that everything we're talking about is recorded, is addressed, and residents aren't mystified by what's happening, because Altadena is going to change, no doubt about it. Big developers are looking up Lake Avenue. I know for a fact. A lot of money could buy every property on Lake right now, looking at it. That stuff is going to happen. Whether or not we do something about it is the question. And we're not going to be a city by the time it happens. So it's going to be the town council, right? It's going to be us or you guys if it's not me, right? So how do we make that happen? Well, whoever has seats, make sure you get that committee together and ask the supervisor.
Please try and wrap it up.
Okay, and so how I do it, social media, working with you guys like we always do, and keep giving people hope, right? People are hopeless, they're sad. People cry like myself randomly, right? So we got to make sure that isn't happening. We manage that, and we can make Altadena even stronger than it was before. Thanks.
Thank you. Alexander.
Hello. Yeah. So, first and foremost, fire recovery and resiliency. So that's inclusive of those who are rebuilding along with standing homes, who are navigating remediation, insurance, headaches, and renters who are facing uncertainty. So I plan on just continuing the work that I'm already doing in wildfire recovery. I've connected people with aid. I've connected people with thousands in recovery aid and resources. So I want to bring that same energy to the council. Also use the council's advocacy function to relentlessly advocate for our community at the state and the local level to ensure that we all get the aid that we deserve for our long-term recovery. Second, prioritizing protecting our character and affordability. Predatory outside investors coming in and taking advantage of our community is not theoretical. It is happening. So advocating for solutions like community land trust to give homeowners, real viable alternatives. And then finally is the need for an accessible and engaged council. Many of the people that I've spoken with shared that they had not heard of the council at all, let alone an election. So this includes things like social media, but isn't limited to it. So I plan on, actively, proactively engaging the community through things like meet your council member events, partnering with local businesses. I know from my time in public health that active and regular outreach is vitally important to connecting with the community. So also expanding the Altogether Neighborhood Captain program. I think it is a phenomenal program to really connect the neighborhood and get information out. And then continue what I've already been doing, which is knocking on doors, introducing myself, and seeing what's on your mind. I want to make sure that our neighbors know who their council member is, what the council does, and how we can help them.
Thank you so much. Sylvia, you're going to wrap it.
We'll wrap it up. I definitely have ideas and are different ideas as to what's a priority for our census tract in 4613 and the residents there, as it's much different than what is a priority for our town. I will answer the question that was posed to me as to what is the top issue facing Altadena, and my response is empty lots. We envision an Altadena filled with homeowners and people walking their dogs and playing in our parks and families supporting local businesses. And the reality is that hundreds and hundreds may not rebuild. And so my thought is we need to inspire people to move to Altadena and make Altadena their home. So I propose a community slogan to start, such as, Altadena, where the mountains meet the trees and life feels clear. And to turn this vision into reality, we can organize multiple Altadena home ownership events featuring pre-approved home plan builders and lenders that specialize in lot loans to simplify the process of purchasing a lot and building a home, providing the tools and resources to make this happen. This initiative will focus on helping families become homeowners, not developers, and encourage thoughtful and community-driven growth that preserves Altadena unique character. As far as reaching out to the community, as a real estate agent, I door knock 500 to 800 homes in our census tract every month. I hold events at our home and bring the community together one event at a time. So if it's something broader, like postcards, then we'll do that, and email as well. But I have a list of 500 to 800 homes in our census tract that I connect with on a monthly basis.
Thank you so much. Look at the time. We are right on schedule. You all have done just a magnificent job. I thank you so much. That was a great collection of ideas, a lot to work with here. And I hope that as you listened, you identified people with whom you have common purpose and sort of have the same heart about it, so that you can form partnerships, whether you are a member of the council or not, really. Okay, I think we should sort of shake the bugs out here for a second and then go right into our breakout rooms. John, would you mind putting up the census tract maps? Because for the public's knowledge, what we're going to do now is go into census tract based breakout rooms. And so if you don't know your census tract, you can look on this fine and dandy map from John and identify your space. And then John will give you a little primer on how to get there. A lot of people already know, and I would say that if you already know, why don't you go ahead and move into your breakout room? Now my breakouts. Oh, here we go. Okay, breakout rooms. All right, so facilitators, you might go ahead and head out to yours, and some folks are already shuffling off to Buffalo there, so we can help the people who are there.
There's a song in there somewhere.
I'm wishing, I wish I knew. Okay, all right, so if you know your census tract, go ahead and join your room, and you can get started and just welcome people as you go. And our map disappeared, so are
I can
there?
put it back up if you like.
I think that would be great, so that I think people can drag around their breakout room list, yeah, and get it out of the way of the map if they're looking it up. Can we see? Let's see. You can unmute yourself and ask for help if you need it. Let's see who's not gone yet. Unassigned.
Harvey, I am not assigned. Yeah, I don't know. How do I get into a room?
Scroll down a little bit and you'll start to see the rooms listed.
I'm not sure what you mean by scroll.
Okay, look at the bottom of your screen where it says participants and chat, and look for the one that looks like a foursquare.
You may have to move your cursor down to the bottom in order for the menu to appear. It's in the form of icons.
Breakout rooms. It's on under more for me.
Okay, good.
And then just click on that, and then you will see the list of rooms. And to the right of them will be a blue join button.
I got it. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye, Barbie. Allison is off on her way. That's good. Who else do we have? Lako, do you want to go to your old one? Maybe see some of your neighbors? Oop, off she went. Okay, who needs help? We've got a couple more people we'd like to give a hand to. Are you having trouble reading the map?
I took the map down again.
Okay, unmute yourself so we can give you a hand.
It's often the case that people are away from their machines if they're in this position.
Okay. All right.
We're missing some folks in 4610. So if there's anyone out there in TV land who live south of Ventura and west of Fair Oaks, come join us in Census Tract 4610. So once again, south of Ventura and west of Fair Oaks, yeah, go down, look down your screen, you'll see a thing that says breakout rooms, and come join us for 4610.
Yeah, we just, are you just the candidates there now?
It's just right now. It's just the candidates, just us, and that's fine. I think that makes a quorum. So we're going to get some things done.
I'll be joining you in a minute. I'm your facilitator, but I'm going to try to figure out some of these other ones first. I'll be right there. Thanks. Have fun.
I'm going to go to 4612, Karen.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. Hey, Brad. Okay. All right. Okay. For those who are not in a breakout room yet, we have gone to breakout by census tract. So if you don't know your census tract, you can go ahead and look it up on the Altadena Town Council website. It's right there on their homepage on the left-hand side. Find your census tract. And otherwise, I'm going to go join my assigned one. So I will see everyone in a little bit.
This is not it. Wow.
And I think it's just us.
Where is everybody? I hope everybody didn't push the other button, which is leave.
No, maybe we're here too early. I don't think so. They said 8. Okay. Oh, wait, no, it's the same.
We're in the Eastern time zone here, the Eastern Census
Yeah,
Tract,
it's
so
11
we're
for
a
you,
little bit
right?
later here. No, it's 8:01 because we're in the furthest east census tract. That's a joke.
Oh, I thought you were saying your time zone.
The other census tracts, it's still a couple of minutes earlier. Anyway. All right. I hope we did this right. People should be back by now.
I think so. They might just be really lost in conversation.
Well,
Yeah,
we all managed to get back.
Yeah, we did. Okay, let's hang out here for a bit. All right, let me ask you a question as an outsider.
Yeah.
What is the overriding role that town council can play in reality, since there's no legislative power?
No, so our charter says that we provide a location for people to do public comment. That's our town council meetings. And that we are a liaison between the community and county and state government.
Right.
And really county is mostly, let's talk about how to get cars towed and how to, all that kind of stuff is really what we do a lot of.
Yeah. Do you think there is a new role given this new post-fire reality?
No, but that's just me. Alexandra knows that's what I said. That's just me though. I'm stopping now.
Hi, Courage. Looks like you're the only one back from your breakout room.
Yeah, we're all back.
Let's do one to come back.
Oh, okay.
We were
Great.
told
Nice to
8
hear.
o'clock. We
I'm
can
looking
keep
at I have
going.
the wrong view here. If I go to gallery, we'll see everybody back. Okay, I'll be quiet, and once Karen gets back, we'll see what's going on. Thanks, everybody. It was nice to meet you all. Nice to talk to you again, Diane.
So nice to meet you. Thank you for facilitating.
It was easy.
Okay, now I feel cheated. We could have kept going.
Well, keep going. We'll listen.
Yeah, I'm happy to ask another question. As I think was mentioned, the town council, a lot of people don't understand what they can and can't do. How would you explain that to the community? Like, how would you sell the town council to someone who doesn't know what they do?
Well, it's a good point, and I might throw in there that people have been very disillusioned in the past with the town council. And so I really appreciate some of the things that each of you said on how you would really invigorate that role. So I would throw that in with Ari's question. So somebody from our census
Courage,
tract.
yes, do Courage because he's been in the middle.
All right, Courage.
I'm always in the middle. They're an advisory board for LA County. They write letters of recommendation. Done.
Okay.
I would add
and
something to that. I've been on the town council. I think it is challenging. We are the ears of the residents. We provide information to them, liaison between the community and the Board of Supervisors office. We make recommendations. We listen to the residents when it comes to crime and kind of a liaison between the residents and law enforcement. And people come in during elections, and it wasn't brought up today, but we hear about, we want sidewalks, we want that. And yes, and what that takes every resident on that block agreeing to give up their land. I mean, there's a lot to what happens, and sometimes people just aren't aware of really what can and can't be done in the community. It's not an easy role because people get frustrated with us because we have no budget, we have no power to make law. We're just basically a liaison between the community and the Board of Supervisors. There have been advocacies for park improvements, and when money's come up, that has happened, but it is a very slow process.
Altadena is a complaint-driven town. Things don't really happen until people complain about it. And if possible, things get done, but it's not always possible. And that's
I've
frustrating.
always said we need to figure out how to be proactive rather than reactive, right?
I wonder if there's a way rather
appreciate
than
what you're saying.
complaining. Like that was very helpful. Like I have always wondered what they can and can't do, and I've been like volunteering for the town council. I still didn't know.
Okay, we've got some hands up, so let's let Morgan and Brandon have a go at it as well.
Brandon, I think you had your
Yeah,
hand up, so go
Brandon,
ahead.
you start.
I was gonna say I think Alexandra had hers before me, but
Oh, yes.
yeah,
Sorry, Alexandra.
just for some other
Thank you.
track.
I appreciate that. I've been sharing with a lot of people. It's a liaison and an advocacy body, and I argue that coming up with long-term recovery, that advocacy is going to play a much bigger role for how our community looks. You know, I think that it's important to really look at what our bylaws allow and try to get creative as much as we can within it. You know, we can't write legislation. We don't have a budget, but I think that we might have. I think we need to stop feeling, I guess, limited by the bylaws and feel like there's a lot in there that we could utilize and work together for.
Nice. Brandon, jump in real fast.
Yeah, I think I'd like to reiterate that it's a intermediary between the Board of Supervisors, so similar to what the previous people were saying, that intermediate between Board of Supervisors and the town. So just getting all of that information to the town and then from the town to the Board of Supervisors. And so if we could form a way to not have it necessarily be a complaint-driven process, I think someone was talking about earlier about figuring out the what and the how. So being more proactive on what's going on in our community and how we can affect change. And I think as the town council, that will be a part of our job to figure out those hows, whys, what's, and move forward with that. So, yeah, thank you.
Karen, is it okay if Morgan answers, or do you need to step in?
No, that's fine. I'm just trying to bring us back together to the big group so we have the takeaways. It sounds like there have been some good discussions going on. So if you don't mind, Morgan, go ahead and just join us when you're done, okay? I'll send
Yeah,
this.
so I actually was gonna respond to Sylvia because I was thinking that maybe another kind of creative role for the town council, and I just this is more of a question actually, not an answer, but the town council had a fund, right? And it was managing, it actually managed distributing funds to survivors that had need. And so it would be nice to hear maybe from some members of the council how that worked, because maybe moving forward the town council could do more things like that have like an actual direct impact to survivors.
Diane, do you want to help me out with that?
The reality is that was put together early on by the Altadena Town Council Executive Committee, and it's not an Altadena Town Council fund. It's not being there's an advisory committee that's making the decisions, not having a town council person on it, because the town council it's not appropriate, it's not in our charter to be, handing money out to people, but we wanted to try to help. So it's not well, we report on, I guess, how much money we have, and we're raising funds. It's through GoFundMe, and the head of GoFundMe came to us and said, we'd like to help. We'd like to set up a fund for you to use. So it's not really a town council program, because it's administered by not people on town council. So I hope that helps. And I'll see if anybody else joins that has better information than I do, but I don't see them. So.
Is everybody back? Is everybody in the same place? Okay,
No,
we
not
are.
yet.
Right. Oh,
It'll take another 30 seconds or so for the closing room order to be executed in every breakout room.
Okay, I don't see anybody there. Okay.
33 people in this room, and there's still,
There were 56 that when we broke up, so
right.
um,
All right.
it wouldn't be shocking if that many left,
Closing
but
in 5
I'd give it
seconds.
another few seconds.
3, 2,
Well,
1.
boom.
Okay, they're
Okay.
coming back in now. We're up to 40, 42.
All
Okay.
right. So, I hope that you've had a wonderful time talking together and in a more casual atmosphere and getting more personal. I felt bad for 4610, but we had a nice chat. So, I mean, it was just us chickens, but it was good. We thought we'd set aside a bit of time here, maybe just a little. Are there any strong takeaways that people want to share? Just maybe a sentence or two about what you talked about, or
I'll start 4611. We talked about undergrounding Southern California Edison and the next steps, and if the county or if town council has a proposal with regards to a community development plan that would encompass safety, either town cry or some kind of loud chime to notify people when there's an emergency. So that was some of the stuff we talked about.
thank you. That was 4611. Thank you. Who else says something?
But Karen,
Well,
I've got a list though, just of, little small things that people say.
Okay, yeah.
Just to, look up and see, do I really have the answer to that one? Because
Good.
they have a couple.
Any other groups?
Oh,
I see some people have hands up. If we, maybe
Oh.
we could go to those folks since they're.
I
Yeah.
am not seeing them. If you.
I
John,
right
you
here,
wanted to
John,
do-
and then it was
Yeah.
John, Matt, and then Anton. Yeah, so I feel like that was the order. If not, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I think everyone's topics are going to be the same, right? I think everyone was really on the same page as far as what we need to do. But I think the takeaway was actually the last couple minutes when Matt, Heidi, and I, and everyone, and I think everyone here can attest that regardless of what happens, that everyone's still going to be involved, and why we're all here is because we love Altadena, and that whether you win or lose, I think everyone in this page, even the people who just joined the census tract, want to get involved. I think that is the takeaway that we got from everything, was that regardless of what happens, that people here are going to be involved in some shape, way, or form to help our town get back to where it was before. So that was sort of my takeaway.
All right. Thank you from that one. Anton, you want to take just a moment to tell?
Sure, super quick. For 4610, it was just the candidates, me and Karen and Isis. And we spent some time talking about, like, going into some of the wonky details about the disaster preparedness and sort of extending some of the CERT training and things like that. We talked a little bit about, like, economic development committees and how we can all move forward in those two areas. There was a lot there and a lot to unpack. I love the idea of the mesh tastic nodes that Joey brought up. Just some really interesting, innovative ideas on how we can be better prepared for the next time.
Awesome. Joan, you have your hand up for 4601?
Yes. So we had amazing conversation. I should have been taking notes because I'm sure I'm going to leave off some of the great stuff. But I loved that the importance of young voices on the council needs to be heard among the diversity, all diversity, but young voices, all economic people, all kinds of diversity really need to be heard. The idea of community and support were really articulated beautifully in a million different ways of how important it is not only for the community to be voices to be heard and represented, but for the community to be served, nobody left behind, to make sure that everybody's needs are taken care of and represented, and that the town council itself needs to be a more powerful voice for the community. If I left anything out, feel free to raise your hand. 4601.
Okay. Looks good. All right. How about Kim, did you have any residents come to you?
Yes, I did. I got a chance to sit down and chat with with Ariane. And it was really wonderful. We talked about, you know, the role and what the town council does. Yeah. And we got
Good.
to know each other, and it was really a wonderful way to get to know another neighbor.
Oh, gosh. Okay. That's wonderful. I'm glad. How about, see, anybody hand up? No, how about, oh, Sylvia, how about?
And Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie was first.
Oh, okay, Reggie, go.
Hi, we had a great conversation. Some of the things I remember is also the idea of early warning, a horn, the siren. It seems to be a theme. People want to know what's going on. And that's great that that's coming out organically in different groups. All the information, coordinating a hub, right? People still don't know who's doing what and why and when. We talked about why we only got like at most 5% of people voting for the ATC. So what can we do to drive engagement, right? That was a great question we noodled over as well. And I just said how, you know, is this really good to have so many people interested in caring about our town? I think that was expressed. Lori, what do you recall?
You're
may be on
muted, Lori.
Yeah, sorry, that's my bad habit. Yeah, I think you summarized it really well, actually. We had a good dialogue. It was respectful. And, you know, we talked about solutions and challenges that we have to overcome. And I think everybody really that would be here tonight is on board to trying to make improvements. So I was very pleased to be here tonight. And thank you so much for the opportunity.
Great. Sylvia, what are you telling from 4613?
Well, I just wanted to clarify something that I said earlier when I was talking about the county being complaint driven. What I was talking about and referencing is that the county is not out proactively looking for code violations, that the county gets involved when they receive communication from residents in the community about a code violation. They're not proactively looking. And that's what I meant when I was talking about the county being complaint driven, that they're not proactively looking out and scouring for violators. So I just want to clarify that.
Okay. And how
I had largely because they don't have the funding to do that kind of stuff if they wanted to, right? That's one thing. The budget is so tight.
Well, and there are loads of people that are happy they're not out looking for code violations, quite frankly.
Right, sure.
And
so,
but they're also not.
Her hand.
What?
Sorry, Diane. Sorry, Diane. I thought you had stopped. Excuse me.
No, that's okay. I'm just saying there are loads and loads of people that live in Altadena who are happy that it's not the city of Pasadena where they're coming after you all the time.
Yep.
So you got to take the good with the bad.
Heard that many times.
Karen Dorothy Wong had her hand up.
There you go. Then that's who I'm looking for. One of those folks.
Hi, everyone. Yes, we talked about a lot of great things, and Brandon and I are all in together. Right, Brandon? Anyway, we did talk about Block Party, how we can connect in a social way that also brings us together. Gail talked about the photo event and how important the library is for us as a place to connect and come together, because communication was definitely a concern. So thinking about fun places and the Loma Alta Park as a space for us to use it for everybody in our town, but we're lucky in 460301 to have Loma Alta Park in our census tract.
That is fantastic. All right. Thank you, everybody. That sounds like it was a pretty lively evening for us. About the voting and about volunteering, Isis, do you want to talk from here? We've got 3 days and 6 locations, and do you want to just send them to the website, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, that would be great. We do have our first day of our elections kicking off on the 1st of November. The polls will open at 5 different locations. I have them all on the website. Let me tell you our website is altadena.towncouncil.org. And if you scroll down on the page, you'll start to see some posts. And there I featured the candidates, how to vote, where to vote, and it's going to outline everything there. And then Tuesday, we have 6 locations on November the 4th. And people have asked if this is the same as our state ballot measure, and it's not. This is our separate local election. And then our last day to vote will be that following Saturday, November 8th. And those are all the same locations that we'll have on the 1st.
But we need volunteers.
We do need volunteers. And so our priority right now is to staff up November 1st election. We have about 5 slots still open. So if you know anybody or if you're interested, please sign up. There is a link on our website where you can select a day and it'll take you to all the slots. And so our top priority, if you know someone who's available this Saturday, we ask that you can commit 3 hours. The shifts start between 10 to 1 and then from 1 to 4. And then on Tuesday, those are different times. The voting time is from 12 to 6, but we've broken those up into 2 shifts as well. And then on the following Saturday, it's again from 10 to 1 and then from 1 to 4. So if you're able to sign up, we have it through Sign Up Genius, and you just pick a slot and then you'll get a reminder. And in the reminder, it has all the steps. And then when you volunteer and you show up, it'll be pretty easy to follow. We have the instructions there and everything will be there for you to take command.
I was impressed with how you set it up, and the picture that says vote has the candidates and their statements, but if you scroll down, you can find not only what Isa said, but also what are the criteria for voting in terms of where you live, where you got displaced to, who votes where. But I liked your statement about it being important for us to vote where we know. And so I think that might help us boost our participation if we are really voting in the places that we understand. I commend you all for being here. I'm deeply appreciative, and I would invite you to email us if you'd like to be on our email list. We send out notices of various things around town. We're not a complete calendar. We don't pretend to be, but for events that we sponsor or just things that we want to highlight, we send out, and we just really love to have, for those of you who are not elected, we would sure love to have some more energy and certainly some more tech savvy in our group. So that would be great as well. So with that, I think it's time to go watch baseball.
I think it's over.
Over.
Wish you all a great
Don't
evening.
say anything. Don't
Yeah,
say
you don't want to
anything.
watch it right now.
It's over.
Don't
I just
say
want to say,
anything.
you don't want to watch it right
Okay.
now. ISA did drop information on volunteering in the chat, so if anyone want to look in there, and also too, I don't believe you have to be an Altadenian to volunteer. We just need people who are willing to help us out.
Right. You have to be an Altadena to vote, but not to volunteer. Okay, super. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Good night.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you,
blessings.
Karen.
All right,
Have a
y'all.
wonderful
Thank all
evening,
of you.
Thank y'all.
everybody.
Appreciate it.
See you at the polls. Keep going.
Yes, that's
Yep.
it.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Please vote.
Oh, congratulations.